This week at Carolina. The budget numbers are in for the North Carolina Women's and Children's Hospital, but there's disagreement about what they mean. And you've had a few drinks, you think you can make it home, but taking chances can mean taking lives. We'll take a more personal look at the effects of drunk driving in Chapel Hill. Plus, a year in review. Stay with us to look back at the events that shaped our year here at Carolina. Stay tuned for those stories and many more. Carolina Week starts now.
The University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. This is Carolina Week.
Good evening, I'm Brigida Mack.
And I'm Tim Nelson. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with a follow-up to a story we brought you first nearly 2 months ago. The new North Carolina Women and Children's Hospital opened in March amid lots of fanfare, but 2 years behind schedule and, depending on whose figures you look at, tens of millions of dollars over budget. Michelle Muscatello joins us now to bring us up to date. Michelle?
Tim, for the first time, UNC healthcare officials sat down with Carolina Week to explain the hospital's construction budget and answer allegations of lax oversight of spending.
We are very, very good stewards of the authority we've been given to try to create wonderful facilities for the women and the children of North Carolina.
But looking at a timeline of the project's cost is causing some people to question the hospital's stewardship. The money trail begins in 1996, when UNC hospital officials pegged the project at $133 million. In 1997, the bid comes in high and is approved by the hospital's board for $138 million. But hospital officials tell us those figures aren't the true starting point for the budget.
Our board approved a budget that was $154 million. Now, this didn't happen 6 years ago, but it happened over time. And that included the financing costs, the land costs, the equipment costs, and the building costs.
McCall says $154 million is the original budget, approved in 2000. That's long after construction began and months after the project was supposed to be completed. In 2001, the hospital files a certificate of need for $166 million.
We're anticipating right now that we're going to be coming in about $161 million, which is less than the certificate of need, which we put in, which is supposed to be a maximum, a cap.
McCall says the final cost should be compared to the adjusted budget of $154 million. But an expert in public financing told me that anything above the original bond issue is a cost overrun. McCall further contends,
not a single taxpayer dollar has gone into the cost overruns.
But Senator and Chair of the State Appropriations Committee Howard Lee says cost overruns, even on a bond finance project, do affect the taxpayer.
Anytime any public institution spends any money, it directly or indirectly comes from the taxpayers.
The hospital's figures put the cost overruns at about $7 million. Compared to what an expert tells us should be the starting figure for the project, the excess is $28 million. The hospital has hired an independent firm to audit the project.
Michelle, thanks. Now an update on a story we've been following for a few weeks. Samuel Farabee, the man charged with assaulting and stalking a woman at UNC Chapel Hill, will be back in court in early June. Farabee pleaded not guilty to those charges in an Orange County District Court Monday. The trial has been continued because an alleged victim did not appear in court.
Well, after a night at the bars, many Carolina students think they can drive home. But Carolina Week's Regina Willis talks with someone who might make you reconsider driving the next time you've had a few drinks.
Paul Reynolds was a normal Carolina student. A member of a fraternity, he graduated with degrees in French and economics and had a 3.79 GPA. Now he's a greeter at Walmart.
I was supposed to be going to Japan on April 27th, 1994, but that never happened.
Because just a few weeks before, Paul was injured in an accident. His friend was drunk when driving him home from a party, and they hit another car head-on.
I went forward and hit the windshield with my head, and that hit me on the left side of my brain, and the left side of my brain affected the right side of my body.
It's a Saturday night, and Chapel Hill police officer Kevin Jones is trying to keep that from happening to someone else.
About, say, around 2 o'clock in the morning on the weekends, probably about 7 out of 10 drivers that you'll find out here have been drinking, and probably about 5 out of the 10 are impaired.
Jones caught one of them that night.
We're going to go ahead and stop this vehicle for driving left of center. When we came around the curve on top of the hill, he almost hit us. Go ahead and step out of the car for me. You're going to take 9 steps forward toward me. I'm going to have to arrest you for driving while impaired. Your money in there.
Some students say they drive home after some drinks because it's not far from Franklin Street bars.
Within a mile of your home, that's where you're more prone to get into an accident.
Journalism professor Phil Meyer says students don't really think an accident could happen to them.
When you're young, you think you're immortal, and it doesn't happen often enough that you can see the cumulative effect.
But Paul is a living reminder of the possible consequences of drinking and driving. He spent years in rehabilitation centers.
Totally in a wheelchair, and I was thinking, dang, I'd like to, I don't know, because I did something stupid, and look at me, I'd like to go shoot myself.
But then he started teaching kids to think first before drinking and driving.
Then I wasn't thinking I wanted to kill myself because I'd sit here and help out other people.
Paul continues to teach high school and college students in the area.
I can be a personal reason why they want to look at me and say, you don't want to drink and drive because look what it did to him.
He's legally blind because of the accident and still spends most of his time in a wheelchair. But despite everything Paul's been through, he's happy with his life.
Doesn't bother me because I'm glad I'm still here and alive. And
He says his goal for 2003 is to walk by himself. In Chapel Hill, I'm Regina Willis, Carolina Week.
To help curb the problem of drunk driving at Carolina, Chairman of Student Services Anoop Deshpoutre says student government would eventually like to extend P2P bus services to include more stops at off-campus apartments.
Charles Kuralt once asked what it is that binds us to this great place. He concluded it wasn't the well or the bell, and now it won't be early decision admissions either. UNC Chapel Hill is blazing a new trail, becoming the first major U.S. university to eliminate the binding early decision admissions plan. Administrators say getting rid of the mid-October early decision option can help prospective students make the best college choice.
It doesn't give them the time to mature through their senior year to really understand the best place for them. We think if we change that process, students will have more time to mature throughout their senior year, to consider their financial aid awards, and to visit campuses and make a better decision for themselves.
Schools across the country may follow Carolina's lead. Students applying for fall 2003 admission will be the first without early decision.
Well, future and returning Carolina students can get excited about the opening of many new and newly renovated buildings. Workers are putting the finishing touches on several projects. The Student Union's addition will open up June 13th, just in time for summer school. The new South Campus dorms are nearing completions, and students will move in next fall. And officials say they plan to reopen the undergrad library in August, just in time for the fall semester.
Well, students staying in Chapel Hill this summer will be seeing higher water bills. Orange County Water and Sewer Authority is raising water prices through the end of September. The company hopes the increase will promote water conservation. Some tips to reduce your bill include turning off your water while shaving or brushing your teeth, watering your lawn during cooler times of the day, and of course, taking shorter showers.
While many Carolina students are looking forward to the lazy days of summer, Vice President Aaron Hiller and Student Body President Jen Daum are looking forward to spending plenty of time in Raleigh, hoping to convince the General Assembly not to increase tuition.
I think that we're under some time constraints to convince a number of people that this needs to be a priority for them, that the university can't take the kind of hit they're looking to give us.
I'm looking forward to having my entire summer to devote to this job. Right now with exams and everything that's been going on, it's been very difficult to balance, and I'm looking forward to catching up on a lot of things.
Daum and Hiller say in addition to lobbying, they'll have the 17 sessions of CTOPS to keep them busy.
Well, one worry on the minds of many Carolina seniors this summer is getting a job.
But some might be more worried about getting there. We'll tell you how to find the best set of wheels when Carolina Week returns.
Okay, guys, time for takeoff. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go! Wow! Whoa, look at that! Is that Jupiter?
Hey kids, it's time to go to the planetarium.
Moorhead Planetarium, where dreams become reality.
When you shop in Orange County, your money comes back to you.
Thank you for shopping Orange.
So shop Orange and see what a difference you can make.
Whether paying for one themselves or getting one as a present, some graduating seniors will be getting their first car. And Carolina Week's Adura Achumba tells us what to look out for when shopping for your new wheels.
It's sleek, it's shiny, and purrs like a kitten. It's your dream car. Not so fast. You can't own this baby without proper planning and plenty of credit.
If you have poor credit and you want a Porsche, it's not going to happen.
No matter how many times you've done it, shopping for a car is a big decision and it can be stressful. But if you do your homework, you can have a great time and the power to negotiate. Kevin Boyd considers himself an expert car buyer.
It's the 15th or 16th or 20th time I bought a car.
His advice to buyers?
Research before you come in. Figure out how much you want to spend and come in with that number in mind.
Craig Gillis, a sales consultant at Performance Automotive, says college students should weigh options carefully.
If you're coming out of college, you're going to be a first-time buyer usually. So you might want to think of a new car just because they usually have some rebates. I mean, if you don't know what you want, you don't have very good credit, you have to be very flexible.
He also says to buy a car from a reputable car dealership. But what about the myth that car dealers want to scam you? Christy Boyce says
it's true somewhat. There are some people out there who are going to try to take advantage of people.
To avoid scams,
you want to ask any person who tries to sell you a car to prove on paper anything that they tell you.
Dealers say don't fall for fancy ads. Those cars might not be the best to suit your needs. Instead of the sleek, shiny dream car, they suggest the basic SUV. You can't go wrong with that. Test driving in Chapel Hill, I'm Adura Achumba, Carolina Week.
For a checklist of things to do to make car shopping easier, including getting a credit report and choosing the best financing option, visit our website at carolinaweek.org.
May 19th, the big day for Carolina seniors, is only 3 weeks away, and here are a few things that you don't want to forget. Well, seniors, you can get your cap and gown at graduation announcements at student stores May 6th to the 19th. Check with your dean's office to find out the date and time of your departmental graduation. Don't miss that reception at Polk Place following commencement. And if you want proof, your diplomas will be mailed by the first week in August.
For some young students in Durham, the chance to go to college may seem like a dream. But Carolina Week's Aaron DuPuis tells us how Carolina's Business School is helping make that dream a reality.
They live in Durham's most dangerous neighborhoods, but these kids are staying away from the gangs and violence. They come here every day after school for Durham Scholars, a program run by Carolina's Business School. A Kaden Flagler professor started it 6 years ago to give inner-city kids a place to study and be mentored.
Yeah, that's great, Jonathan.
But program director Beverly Hester Stevens says it's more than just homework help.
It's a place to come and hang out with your friends. It's a place to be surrounded by caring adults. And those are the things that make a difference.
She makes them a deal. They come here every day after school, starting in the 6th grade. If they graduate from high school, still a Durham Scholar, they get a $10,000 scholarship.
Durham Scholars started 6 years ago, so the original students are just now graduating from high school. And to volunteers' delight, many are applying to college.
I'm thinking of going to college. I don't know which one yet, so that's the only thing I haven't decided on yet.
Hester Stevens says the program gives some of these kids what they may not be getting at home.
Many of them come for their daily hug, which is really, really nice because I'm a hugger.
Whenever I want to slack off and go straight home, she's always there to make sure that, I don't skip the program or whatever. I sort of have like an advantage over other kids because I can get help with whatever I need.
Of the original 24 students, 13 are still in it. In Durham, I'm Erin Dupois, Carolina Week.
In addition to the $10,000 scholarship, the program also pays its students to go to summer camp.
Well, millions of viewers are now well acquainted with Carolina's culture. In case 7 a.m. was too early, Carolina Week gives you a recap of Good Morning America's visit to the UNC Chapel Hill campus. Students showed up early Monday morning with signs in hand to cheer on Diane Sawyer and Charlie Gibson and try for a chance to be on TV. The Cliffhangers entertained the crowd with James Taylor's song, Carolina in My Mind, while the men's soccer team demonstrated to Tony Perkins why they're the NCAA champions. And other students modeled Carolina fashion. Carolina was the first stop for Good Morning America's tour of 50 states. Well, it was a beautiful day for Carolina Week's own Ashlyn Gorse to be strutting her stuff in Carolina true style.
It really was gorgeous out there that morning, and there's more of that where that came from. I'll tell you all about that in your weekend forecast in a minute. But first, let's go to this week's weather question, which is, what keeps a hurricane's eye clear of clouds? Is it cool winds, sinking air, low pressure, or wind shear? The answer and this weekend's forecast when Carolina Week returns.
Can you afford to own a home in Orange County?
I'm a homeowner.
I am a homeowner.
I'm a homeowner. We own a home in Orange County, and so can you.
If you thought you couldn't afford to own a home in Orange County, now you can. Contact the Orange Community Housing and Land Trust for more information.
North Carolina is where the wonders never cease. It's where visitors and residents alike can be touched by these things and always remember the embrace of clouds around a mountain peak, sparkling water forever in a hurry, a bridge less traveled, an enchanted wetland forest, and the place where the sun meets the sea.
Hi, and welcome back to Carolina Week. Well, the warm weather has made it just wonderful to be outside, and it has a lot of students heading out for the last day of classes, and it has made just the perfect setting for a luau out in the pit. While the warm weather is nice and festive, it is worth mentioning that we're still seriously lacking rainfall, but for the time being, it makes springtime feel all the better. And as we head into the beginning of May, we're reminded that hurricane season is just less than 1 month away, and the 2002 hurricane forecast is an active one, slightly above average, where they're calling for 12 named storms this season, 7 of which are predicted to become hurricanes, and 3 of them are predicted to become major hurricanes. And most experts agree that we're long overdue for landfalling hurricanes here in North Carolina, so we'll want to stay tuned to that and see how things shape up this summer. But for the time being, let's take a look at what our weather is like this week. If we look at the service map, we can see a band of rain and clouds out to our east that missed us, unfortunately, and didn't provide us with that opportunity for rain that we were hoping for. But the good news is behind it is another cool front right now located over West Texas, but that's going to slowly make it our way as we head into the weekend. If we take a look at the forecast map, we can see that as we head into Friday and Saturday morning, a cold front is going to move through our area. Right now, our best guess is that we might pick up a little bit of rain and a scattered thunderstorm from this system. Unfortunately, most of the moisture is going to be to our north, so we might just miss that once again. But if your weekend plans require a good forecast, you're going to be in luck. If we take a look at the 4-day forecast, Friday we have partly cloudy skies with a high of 73 and a low of 46. On Saturday and Sunday, we're going to be under mostly clear skies with just beautiful springtime weather. A high of 76 on Saturday, 79 on Sunday, and lows will be in the mid-50s throughout the weekend. On Monday, as we head back into the week of exams and finals, things look very typically springtime, a high of 79 under mostly sunny skies. If your weekend plans plans include a trip to the beach. That's also a really good plan for you. On Saturday, sunny skies and a high of 80 degrees. On Sunday, heating up even more to 83, and lows will be very, very mild in the mid to upper 50s. Well, if you are instead heading out to the mountains, things look nice there as well, at least for Saturday, a high of 68 and a low of 42. On Sunday, we're going to heat up to 72, but unfortunately, there will be rain out there. We could certainly use that rain here, but we won't be getting it. And if you are still suffering from allergies, unfortunately, relief really isn't on the way. High pollen levels are on tap for both Saturday and Sunday, so outdoor plans could be problematic in that way. But other than that, it's a beautiful weekend forecast. And getting back to the weather question, any guesses as to why the eye of a hurricane is clear?
I really don't have any idea, but I'll say C, low pressure.
It's actually sinking air. The way a hurricane's set up, air sinks in the middle and just keeps it clear of clouds, and really nice warm weather there.
All right, thanks a lot, Kelly.
Sure.
Well, the last year in Carolina sports has been memorable, to say the least.
Well, there has been plenty of memorable moments. We'll take a look at some of those in a little bit. But first, as we go to break, two quick updates in women's sports. Brandy Griffin threw a no-hitter for the softball team as the Heels split a doubleheader at UNCG on Tuesday. And the 31st ranked women's golf team received a bid to the NCAA East Regional in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. More sports when Carolina Week returns after this.
Escucha Smokey antes de tratar.
Solo tú.
No juegues con fósforos, no juegues con fuego. Fuego. No hay nada perdurable con el asustado a un pobre ratón sin casa en que vivir. Si un hermoso bosque es lo que deseas, no juegues con fósforos, no juegues con fuego.
Solo tú puedes prevenir los fuegos forestales.
¡Fuego!
When I have an asthma attack, I feel scared. Sometimes my parents have to take me to the hospital. I feel like a fish with no water.
You know how to react to their asthma attacks. Here's how to prevent them. Call 1-866-NO-ATTACKS. Visit www.noattacks.org or call your doctor. Because even one attack is one too many.
Welcome back to Carolina Week Sports. Remember the purple haze from Kenan Stadium for the ECU-UNC football game? Well, it reared its head again at Boshemer Stadium on Tuesday. The Pirate faithful sail into town looking to take another one from the Heels. Carolina fans came out to see if their team could avenge an earlier loss in Greenville. 7th-ranked Carolina jumps out early, scoring 10 runs in 4 innings. The 14th-ranked Pirates would look to stay on their feet, but can't. Reliever Whitley Benson, getting his first career college start, tosses 6 scoreless innings for the W. And then Mr. Everything Chris Maples steps in late to seal the deal, closing the lid on the 10-1 rout. Before the game, Coach Fox indefinitely suspended freshman pitcher Carter Harrell for academic reasons. Carter was 7-3 on the season. Well, this season is one to remember for all the right and a few wrong reasons. A men's soccer national championship, 7 ACC titles, and a Peach Bowl trophy were the highlights. And the men's basketball team, well, it's better left unsaid. Along the way, Carolina Week Sports was there for many memorable moments. And that's sports for the year.
It's definitely been a great year for Carolina sports.
Sure has. It's also been a year to remember for Carolina students. We'll take a moment to reflect when Carolina Week continues.
I was saying around camera.
I am a Tar Heel born.
Actually, would have been better if we had just been on the street there.
I'm a Tar Heel bred.
And then people are going to come up here, right? What are we on?
And
One or
when
two
I
here?
die, I'm a Tar Heel dead.
Is all of us supposed to be out here?
No one knows the
That's
real
not the line.
Carolina like a student. Carolina Week, the student news show.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
Well, it's been quite a year. From tragedy to triumph, this year will surely be a year of memories for many Carolina students.
Carolina Week takes a look back.
Carolina, be strong and help each other. Our lives will never be the same.
It's unreal. I can't believe it.
8:45 Tuesday morning,
Our individual lives will be indelibly changed.
the New York skyline is changed forever with the fall of the second tower.
It took death to stop Daniel.
He died in his attic bedroom sometime early Friday morning.
It's not about how he died that matters, but how he lived.
He was always chasing his dreams.
Whether to establish a business school in the Middle Eastern country of Qatar.
I don't know right now if it's worth the risk.
The budget is in the red.
You know, the arithmetic is just not there. If the revenues are not there, what is the state going to do?
We're following two big stories tonight, tuition and parking. UNC Chapel Hill students are one step closer to paying more for a Carolina education.
No student is more involved than student body president Justin Young.
Qatar, parking, and tuition. It's been tough, but I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
Hi, my name is Brad Overcash.
Hi, my name is Fred Hassagen.
My name is Will McKinney.
Good evening, and welcome to Carolina Week's special coverage of student body elections.
So if you're asking overall if they've been a disappointment.
The student government has a new face. New student body president Jen Dahm and her cabinet were sworn in last night.
Folks would ask me, like, why are you running for student body president? I was like, to get ready for Dance Marathon.
I'm Joe Disney.
And I'm Michelle Muscatello. We'll show you what it's like to be a dancer in the 24-hour Dance Marathon.
Sway hips from all the moving back and forth.
There's always dancing.
Carolina Week goes around and about with students who are getting ready for the toughest part of the semester.
Say Walker spent several hours at the fraternity in bitter strife between their people by coming here to student health for an alcohol assessment.
With more coverage of Carolina news and events.
Stay right here for those stories and more.
Carolina Week starts now.
Well, that does it for this year of Carolina Week.
From all of us at Carolina Week, we wish you the best, and we thank you for the memories.
Be sure to tune in over the summer for the best of Carolina Week and next fall when we return with a weekly broadcast.
Until then, have a good night and a good week.
Bye. Hang tight, guys. Just socialize amongst yourselves. Oh. Yay!